Hi, and welcome to Friday Fight Night on Dominion Attack. I am Cormac Attack.
I'm Tetron.
And today the card we're looking at is Familiar. Well, it's familiar to me and Tetron anyway. Let's see what it looks like. It is like this. As usual, we're going to start with the base deck. And this is the Familiar, which is a fearsome looking card actually. And it's plus a card plus an action, and then every other player gains a curse. It costs 3 and a potion to buy, so yeah, you can sometimes it takes a little while to get hold of it, but then you can curse everybody until the curses run out. Alrighty, I'm just going to press start actually.
Now I'm tempted not to start with a potion, but I'll do it anyway because I know that under normal circumstances.
Start with a potion, don't you? Yeah.
Well, it's sort of a dead card when there's only one potion by, and with a moat there, but yeah, there's not enough trashing really to ignore it.
Yeah, you can trash with Sentry and Remodel. Let's get a Harbinger.
Yeah, I mean, Harbinger makes sense with the frame and getting the action, but I'm going to start off with just money to begin with.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking about. That makes sense.
I'm now going to make a slightly unusual choice of buy. I'm buying the throne room before I have any other actions to go with it.
Ah, okay.
Well, I'm just working out what I'm going to want eventually anyway.
Yeah.
And Poacher, it goes weak quite quickly, in my opinion, once paths run out. And with the both of us playing familiars, I think that.
Yeah, I think Poachers. I agree with you. Okay. I'm wondering whether it would be worth getting a vassal in this deck. It might be. Let's try it.
Yeah, other than the bureaucrat, which I worked out completely counteracts it, I think it's normally worth getting. Okay, I now have a second 4. I'm going to go for Harbinger, I guess. I'm considering a moat as well, but I haven't yet got a second action, so I suppose.
I'm going to join you then on this throne room strategy. At least I do have some actions.
Yeah, well, you had the action beforehand. I mean, I now have a familiar, which I can throw room, obviously. But when I bought it, I had no actions.
Let's get a second familiar.
Yeah, I did that simply because there's not a lot of clear competition when you don't have the spare actions. Anyway, I'm now going to throw room my familiar.
No.
So I'm trying to get up to this 5, and I don't think it's coming very readily, which probably means there's not enough money yet. Silver or moat. There's no point getting a third familiar. I could get another throne room and be optimistic. I probably should have got a silver. My thinking is I'll get another 2 at some point anyway with all these curses.
I think I will get a silver now.
That's impressively fast cursing.
We don't have much curses left, do we?
Motus for the moat. Well, even if I bought the moat last time, it wouldn't probably come into play before the curses run out. But I want the moat for the draw anyway at some point. Get another silver. Although I'm still trying to get to this 5.
Me too, yeah.
Ooh, hooray. My moat actually comes into force. Because the problem is the familiar, once the curses has run out, it does nothing really. It's just as empty behind the potions. Well, remodel allows you to get rid of it, but potions like a dead card.
I'm going to go for remodel, I think.
Anyway, there go the curses. Let's see if I get to 5. No, I still don't get to 5, even drawing 4 cards. Yes, another Harbinger. Although they can get reactions now we're familiar with the throne room potentially, so probably didn't need a harbinger.
Another vessel.
Remodel, I guess. It's not looking like we're going to hit these 5s with all these curses, so perhaps it should
Oh,
have
I've
just
got
been silver.
2 more curses than you, I think.
You do. The moat, the moat paid off.
Okay.
But you do have.
So we've got to try and get to this century. It's really the thing. Right.
Okay, clearly I don't have enough money, so I'm buying silver. I was saying just before it cut off that I thought whilst you have more curses, your other cards are slightly better with your 2 vassals.
Oh yeah, now that is better. I feel like I should just get a sentry, even though I can get 6s. Yeah, I will.
Well, I'm going to get this vassal.
4. Yeah, maybe another vessel.
Aha! 5 for the first time in the game.
Yeah.
Now I want both a sentry and a bandit.
Yeah.
I guess. How many target cards have I got to trash? I have 7, which I want to trash probably. I'm still. I think bandit may actually be correct first for giving me a better chance of still getting the sentry as well. Just a top deck, my bandit, and I'll just buy a sentry rather than an artisan, although the harbinger in theory could get me to places faster. So you got rid of the potion, which is one of the downsides of familiar, that you have to get 1 dud card there.
Yeah.
Right, I will throw in my bandit, which
I would. Yeah, that's bad for me because I was gonna actually trash all those.
Well, you seem to have revealed a curse and a remodel twice. Oh yeah, of course it doesn't discard. I thought bandit discarded them.
It did. No, it wasn't. The first time was an estate and a curse, and the second time was.
It wrapped around the log. That's what confused me, because it says it's twice. Reveals discards. Yeah, fine. It's gone too wide for the log window, so it made the lines confusing.
I was going to trash the familiar actually.
Yeah, well, apart from a target for the remodel to give an throne room to give an extra action, they don't do much any longer.
Yeah, it's just.
I suppose with the vassal though, it's not like it's a smithy, so you're not. There's not a lot which you're dead for.
Yeah, they're not too bad. I think I will just go to province though.
Yeah, well, without a buy, that makes sense. So I'm going to trash my potion, get an artisan, and then buy a moat.
Let's just take that. And we'll get the bandit in the end. Hmm.
Gold or century? The deck's a bit slow here, actually. I may even just get a duchy. What the piles are looking like. No, I guess gold.
Yeah, probably gold as well, actually.
Yeah, that wasn't the most encouraging draws. But it was likely to happen. So your trashing's actually gone quite well with your centuries. So that century was
I've been
better than
trashing
Bandit.
a lot. Yeah.
I was just thinking of the frequency of it. I mean, my century's going to have its first attempt to trash in a minute. That just took so long to get to fives. It's not normally that guaranteeable.
Yeah. I should have discarded that person.
Nothing. Although again, I would like to trash those two. Well, one of them at least. Yeah, not a great crash. Yes. I guess a duchy actually. Oh, actually not.
Trying to work out from the trash how many cursors we each have left.
You have 3 curses.
I have 3.
I think.
So I've trashed all my estates. So you haven't trashed any estates.
I've trashed 1 curse, basically, I think.
You've trashed 1 curse.
Perhaps I'm wrong. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure how many estates you've got. I've trashed 1 curse, 1 copper, I believe, is my trashing limit. Because my century just came around for the first time and I remodeled one once.
So you've trashed
remodeled my potion.
I've trashed 3 estates and 3 curses.
Yeah, as I said, it's gone quite well for you.
So I've got 3 curses left. But then why are you on 3 victory points?
Because I bought a duchy.
Ah, you bought a duchy. What did you do that for?
Victory points. For the same reason you just said, oh, how come I'm on 3 victory points? The century just was going to be too random for me to try and catch up. And I already have quite a few golds. Well, had quite a few golds. And obviously I'd like to put a province, but wasn't getting there.
I'll get a province. $10. So you have a province and a duchy and an estate. That doesn't make sense.
Well, there's still curses in play.
Yeah.
I've now trashed 2 curses. If you want my count, I've trashed 2 curses, a copper, and a potion.
You still got 3 estates.
Yeah, now you're trashing off. Your vassals keep seeming to hit. I don't think they've missed a lot this game.
I have been lining things up for them.
Yeah, well, there's limits to how much you can line them up until you started your trashing. What do I want to top deck? I guess probably just aiming to buy province, although the timing's still not ideal. Oh, I get to top deck twice, of course. It's a harbinger. Let's try top decking that. So what vassal? I guess vassal. Yeah, that harbinger didn't work the way I was planning.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah, well, I do my setup play, which I was intending to do earlier, but the rest of it hasn't worked well. That was a province, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I think. Oh, actually, that's. Oh, actually, I need to undo. Sorry,
What?
have the cards in order.
Oh, you trashed my gold.
A gold. Yeah, the numbers of this just don't work for me. There's no way to correct the timing. Okay, game.
Good game. So that one, familiar was good, but not decisive, I guess.
Well, I played a key point. I mean, it stopped me from getting a 5 for a very long time. And then your early vassals kind of hit, which included hitting familiars. So they kind of helped you a little bit there.
I think you were ahead until I got the sentries. Because you got bandit first and I got sentry first.
Well,
So
no, even it was the.
Do you think sentry first is correct? Because it was
the second sentry. No, it was the vassal which hit. It was fairly equal, I think. Probably if you balance out the statistics for the score. But basically, your vassals didn't miss much early on, and that allowed you to trash down with your sentry that upped the odds of you hitting with your vassals.
Yeah, because you can kind of manage that. You went with the sentry as well, and I suppose that's why the sentry was so important for me, is because you can then manage what the next card's going to be, so you can make sure whether your vassal hits or not.
Yeah, but it does. You still need to hit something. I'm not saying it was unlikely to hit, but if you miss, there's still nothing you can really realistically do in those ones. I think it was just very close until till the end. I mean, even at the end, if my throne room remodel comes up before your throne room remodel, I still win.
Right. Then what do we have here? We have a lot of stuff.
Yep, attack city.
Yeah, so there's attacks. Familiar, of course. And pirate ship is always an attack. And you've got the knights that are also attacking. And young witch is also an attack. And relic, is that? Yes, that is an attack. Okay. Right, just trying to make sense of all this. Trashing is moderate, not fantastic, I'd say. The butcher's the obvious trashing card, and the apprentice you can as well.
And Dame Anna, which hasn't yet appeared.
Yeah. I have thought, I'm sort of choosing between various different things. In particular, the Baron can be good at the start, then the familiar. So the potion to get the familiar. The quarry actually even to make actions cheaper. And the young witch. I never tried the pirate ship this early, but that's it's possible, and Sir Martin's possible too. I think I will. She's tricky. I think I'll go for the quarry actually. Which might be a bit of an unusual one, but.
Well, I'm getting the questionable Duchess.
Questionable Duchess. I suppose I was going to say the merchant, but I think I just get the silver for the merchant to be worth anything.
Well, I'm getting a butcher with my 5. It's not too surprising.
Yeah, 5. I think the butcher as well, to be honest.
Okay, so my 2-5 hasn't helped if you hit 5 in your next turn anyway.
You're picking what to gain.
Let's get some Martin on the silver.
Yeah, I just can't.
Well, I have got a buy actually. I got some Martin.
Yeah. Are you thinking of the Baron for the buy?
Yeah, well, the Baron's quite a nice buy. I mean, if I had 4-3, I would probably have started with the Baron, particularly with quarries in play. But
Yeah. Okay, so then
with an early butcher, though, it also
yeah, You wonder how long you're going to keep your
estates. Yeah.
That's the only thing for that one.
I guess I will get a quarry and see whether St. Martin lasts long enough for me to use him.
Card up to 4. I suppose. Oh, it could be the silver. I actually think the young witch. 2. Duchess. I don't know. I don't really like Duchess, but I'll get it.
Okay, so hit your butcher, which is something.
You hit my butcher? Oh, you did. That's disappointing. I didn't want you to hit the butcher. Get the quarry.
Yeah, we're going to be a bit short of actions here. Oh, let's play the potion.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not clear what else there was to get. Because my problem was I don't mind Dame Josephine, but my worry is what's the card underneath it.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference as to whether that's a good or a bad buy.
I get this apprentice actually. It's not as good as the butcher, but at least I won't feel as bad when you trash it.
That's what I'm thinking. You just buy silvers or potions. What do I want to gain? I can trash a Duchess on this state. I don't think I realistically have enough actions to justify keeping the Duchess. So I will trash that one first. I guess get a Baron. And then a Merchant. Just on the off chance it may block the odd young witch once in a while.
Right. I'm going to get a potion now.
Okay, at this stage, I'm just going to risk opening up the knights.
Right, Sedestry. Well, that's a nice one. If only I had another buy. I will get Sedestry.
Okay, I will take Dame. Well, do I want that? I'm trashing. Well, I need to get it to stop you getting it realistically, probably anyway. Which card do I want to trash to get it? Let's see what the next one draws regardless. Okay, I don't necessarily need to trash anything in that case. Oh no, I can't play the quarry before I play the butcher. I guess the Baron's getting walkabouts. I'll have to rebuy him. It's a barely first.
Oh, you got them both. How did you get them both with the butcher?
I had quarry. I didn't get them both with. I got one with the butcher for my Baron, which I was thinking of rebuying, but I
All right, so I'll take some Michael.
Come on, Dame Molly. No, boo. So I'm going to be one coin short of getting both of them. Let's continue with the knights. It's never a good idea to risk going behind in the knights. And I guess I just buy silver rather than baron at this stage. What's the VP situation looking like? Where are the piles? I think I give up my VPs and keep Sibeli because Sibeli's better. And that trash still probably works out better for you because you get gold out of it. And I lose 2 VPs. Yeah, and that's, as we knew was coming, was Dame Molly.
Right. Trash that one's through. Excuse me. Oh, yeah.
I can't remember if I got ahead with the number of knights. I think I probably
did. I think go ahead. Because you bought 2 on that go.
Do I want this? So I'm trying to work out whether I want to use my coffer before I buy my first card. Dame Molly's definitely been bought. I guess I need another buy, so it's a baron. So I don't need to play that.
Oh, how did you get 2 buys? That was
I didn't get 2 buys. I butchered. Oh, actually, no, I didn't butcher. I had I placed Sir Martin at the start of the turn, I think, and he just trashed.
Yeah.
So that's where my buys were. Sorry, butcher was the turn before. So what did you do that turn?
Not much.
Okay, there goes Sir Michael, which is probably better for me than for you. Although I'm still getting a bit behind on these VPs. Got to be a little bit careful.
Should I trash that one? Gain a card. What is it? Card up to 3. I might just take a silver.
So coming back to see what to trash. I guess my second butcher's better than the silver.
6. I should take butcher, I think.
I'm just going to trash 1, I think. Did my potion get trashed at some point? Yeah, it must have done that, so I'm not seeing it. I hadn't noticed that.
Okay. 1 by 6. Let's get, I suppose, the gold, to be honest.
No, I need a gold, although I kind of really want this potion. Wow, that's a colourful hand, which doesn't look like it's necessarily going to be able to do anything for me. 5 different cards, 3 knights and a butcher, one of which is a thing. So, boo, that was definitely not a favourable trash for me.
But kind of is, because you might be left with 2 knights and me 0.
Well, I was going to be left with 2 knights anyway, but Dame Molly was the only action giving a card, and I was timing it to get it as well, because I knew it was the last card when I left the other one. I mean, it's not an awful trash for me, don't get me wrong, but that was of the possible things which could have happened. Let's try and re-get this familiar. At least now I know the potion's safe.
It's like in chess when you're ahead in material on exchange material.
Yeah, but I'm not ahead in points in this, which is the material. The material equivalent would be the VPs.
You're ahead in knights. You're ahead in knights.
I'm ahead in knights, yeah.
Yeah.
Which obviously I want to, but the point is you want to just lock out the knights.
Exchange knights.
But I'd already done that. But I wanted to exchange a different knight.
We did, but nonetheless, it's not that awful.
No.
Right. So
the question of whether the other combination was game winning, this one's still up in the air, I think.
Discard 2.
Because I'm still getting a lot of these curses.
So those are the two I have to discard.
Yes. Oh, I've got the Bane. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's probably not worth. Actually, I will use coffer. Actually, I will get a province.
See, yeah, that's the complication with this combination.
Got these two trashing ones, but don't help that much. I'm going to just trash this. I'm going to play that without trashing and just gain a merchant.
Yeah, I think I need to get Duchy.
Duchy.
I need some VPs to close off this because I haven't got the Baron. These relics are just make it a bit unpredictable if we're trying to get up to a province.
Yeah.
And you managed to get one, obviously. And I now have slightly too many terminal actions for the ideal one because I thought I was going to hold on to. Well, I'm going to get this familiar first. It's probably would have been correct to get a province.
I thought it was 2 of your potions in the trash, but it must be 1 of mine.
I think it was 1 each.
Yeah.
I didn't buy the second one until you were out of knights. But I hadn't but my problem wasn't so much of it trashing. My problem was that I hadn't noticed it trashing.
Yeah, me too.
Merchant. Problem is, I've got reasonably good trashing cards. It's just they're coming late. So I'm not able to advantage. I'm going away some coffers and get a province. Yeah, if you bring up the trash, it is quite full of different cards.
Yeah.
I suppose that often is the case with knights. So you get another province. See, yeah. I mean, the only good news from my perspective is that eventually your duchies don't do a lot for you.
I don't have any duchies.
Well, I know you don't, but you're doing quite well with just the provinces.
I think I'll get a familiar, actually.
Well, I can't trash it.
Yeah.
Ha! My Baron for once isn't just forcing me to get another estate. Do I want to get anything with the other one? No, I just get province on buy. Oh, and you still manage to get another. Yes, I need to actually buy an estate.
So about that one.
Yep. So now I can't get the fines, which would have been nice to be able to do.
Yeah. I'll get this anyway, even though it might get trashed.
Well, you don't have a lot of options. You need to maintain the lead. If you didn't buy one. These relics are pretty killer.
Oh, damn. Discard 2.
Yeah, I mean, the like Young Witch isn't that strong a card because of discard 2. It speeds things up, but it really is a lot weaker than, say, Old Witch.
So if I now butcher a province,
Province, you win. Yeah,
let's do it then.
as I said, you caught my wrong night. It wasn't a time when I wanted to exchange. Good game.
Okay. So let's put in everything. Actually, we didn't use the familiar much that time, did we?
Well, the potion got. I didn't notice my potion trashing. I was going to get one earlier to counteract this witch a little bit.
I thought, because I noticed your potion trashing, and then I thought you trashed your own potion.
No, that was last game. I didn't trash my own potion.
That bit, yeah.
It trashed by one of your knights without actually telling me, because it wasn't a choice of cards.
Yeah.
I do find the log's not very good for letting you see what happens all the time. It's not like a live game in that regard. 2 potion cards, so
yeah, Scrying Pool's pretty good. I would have got a Sinister Plot, and where's the officer's +2 cards, isn't it? Battlefield's Victory card. Gosh, we've got a lot of stuff here again. And we can exile things. Don't think the bank's going to be very useful. Okay. Let's start. Three. I suppose it's scrap. And 4, I suppose, is potion.
as I said, don't like mirroring much. I was going to get potion, but I'll stop Sinister Plot.
Right, I can get plus a coin, which is what I want to get. And I would like to get, I think I want a silver actually. Let's start with the familiar. And bear in mind, I said start with the familiar.
Well, yeah, I know you're going for Scrying Pool, but Scrying Pool's better than familiar. But
Sinister Plot I like as well. I'll take that.
Let's try drawing a card, see what that does. sort of horse, I guess.
Let's take the sanctuary. I do like the sanctuary, actually. I think it's very good.
Yeah, the only downside is you need 5 to get to it, which was what I was planning to do in my first opportunity, but I've had to trash a couple of estates already, which kind of devalues some of the exile power.
Yeah.
I'm going to otter my horse, although I don't actually think it's going to make much difference.
Is Poorhouse going to be good in this deck? I wonder.
Well, not really enough actions to justify it in comparison to yeah, I'm just thinking it seems, I guess I get the familiar just to try and keep these curses under control.
Yeah. I mean, actually, we do have actions, though, I think.
No, we do have actions in the mining village, but there aren't really enough actions with Graw in order to justify getting the Poorhouse, because it still only gives you 4 coins at most.
Yeah.
So you then require 2 Poorhouses to get an estate. I think banks probably better and keep the money if you had the option. Obviously, there's a differential in cost, but
yeah. Let's go a second sanctuary.
gold. I was thinking getting something else, but I drew some more money.
We do have the buy. All right, let's try through. Six. All right. Let's do it like this: a mining village and a scrying pool.
Okay, let's see if this works for me. I'm drawing the extra 3 cards. Do I play the horse first? 3, 4. Yeah, I guess I've got to play the horse, although it's not going to work, is it? No, it didn't. Okay, well, let's exile my state and play my scrap as an otter. Scrying pool gold.
Top deck. Actually, I could play that first one as an otter. Century. Let's also that one as well. 6. Yeah. I'm tempted now by this Poorhouse plan, which might be horrendously bad. So if I did that, I would want a Poorhouse, and then I guess I'd want a sanctuary mining village. Let's take a mining village.
Yeah, where the otter alters this one quite a bit.
Sorry, where the otter makes it.
Alters this one quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh. Well, this poorhouse isn't particularly exciting, but I could otter it. Sanctuary. I excel that. And scrying pool. Mining village. And then I otter the poorhouse. Oh, so confusing. Mining village. Scrying pool. You can just have that. Actually, this poorhouse plan I think is probably not very good.
Well, it's all right because the otterness of the thing, I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
He was like 10.5 ahead of me, I think.
Yeah. 4. How are we doing for cursors? So I'm almost tempted by a farmer's market. And then I suppose I get another poorhouse if I'm doing this strategy, but it might be a duff strategy, I'm just thinking.
Well, farmer's market is pretty good.
Farmer's market is better than poorhouse, I should think. I think this poorhouse thing might not be the right, might be barking up the wrong tree.
I'm not going to excel that.
Ooh, that's a lot of actions.
Yep, that's a pretty nice growing pool. So I really want one of these mining villages. It's just the timing's never been quite right.
Yeah.
I was like 1 coin short for my combination buys, and I kind of squandered them a bit.
All right, so I'm going to keep on with this strategy, and we'll see what happens with it.
Well, it doesn't really matter much, as I say, because you can otter things, and you got your hand pretty much under control with your second scrying pool.
And so I need to scrap this one. And then that one. This one. And then that. So 5. So we end up having to trash all of these things. But maybe that's fine. So mining village and poorhouse. I'm going to have to trash my silver and potion as well and just end up with nothing. And see what happens.
Until I can get some mining villages, I think you're onto a winner. Oh. Blast shit. Don't let me have orders at arms. I won't discard my gold. Really hideous situation. Okay, let's get province and state.
Yeah. You get a lot of battlefield points. That's the word I was trying to say. Okay. Let's scrap the silver. Bye silver, nice knowing you. And take an action. Just going to get a silver. I don't want to get the silver. A horse and a coin. These ones you may exile a card, but you don't have to. Farmers market. Four house. And 4 buys. So I want province, a scrying pool, and could take one more poorhouse, but I'm getting to the point where I've got too many. Poorhouse. And I have to stop there.
Yes, I know this next one's cures. It doesn't matter, you're double provincing. State farmers market. Well, it doesn't really matter, I can't catch up. I need mining villages to improve my hand, but there's no point in me doing it. My early sinister plots missed by 1 coin twice. And I was prepared, I'm not willing to underbuy.
Maybe I should scrap my potion. I probably should.
That's not exactly a high risk thing. I mean, it doesn't really matter if the scrying pools make it uncatchable.
Yeah, I'm just thinking I probably don't need any more scrying.
Because otherwise I would have got the province if you had got in the bank, for example.
Okay, scrying pool. Discard. Oh, that's what I can do. Sanctuary of the province is, of course, what I want to do. And scrap the curse.
Oh, so you didn't scrap your potion, you exiled it.
I exiled it in the end. I don't have enough actions.
You have hundreds of actions. You just don't get to play all your cards, but you get them all in your hand, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just get a province and a mining village. Okay. It's saying trash to me. I don't want to trash it. No, it's fine. Okay. Right. Let's exile the province. And then village. Familiar. And I suppose I just want the four houses, don't I? No, I want the farmer's market as well for a buy. One, two, three, four. So let's take a province and a farmer's market. Oh, and I've got, sorry, 2 provinces is what I kind of meant. I almost don't need this scrap anymore. And exile it.
Right. Only going to be 2 more turns anyway from you.
Two more turns for you, did you say?
Well, I think there are only going to be 2 more. This and another turn for you. The next turn of yours will end the game. Crash this. It's not going to come around again. Finally get to the second scrying pool in plenty of time.
Six actions, so I might as well just play off these actions. What happened to my other farmer's market?
You trashed it.
I trashed it?
By getting before VP.
Ah, yeah, right. I forgot about that. All right. Whatever.
Well, as I said, it doesn't really matter as you have 16 coins.
Yeah. I don't want to play more actions, that's fine.
Right, good game.
All right. So, what did you think of Familiar?
Well, the first game we kind of both went for it all, so it's kind of critical for that one. But the third game, it really wasn't the key card. Yeah, I picked up a few curses extra because you're going more turns, but it was the scrying pool. So when there's a second ration card, it becomes a much more viable buy, and also there was trashing and stuff. And yeah, I just let myself get a bit behind. I would have lost anyway if I went for the same strategy as you, but it wouldn't have been by such a big margin. And third game, it may have come.
Everything. I think that's why the scrying pool, because I was always able to get. I was able to, because I trashed quite aggressively that game.
Well, yeah, there wasn't any question about that. But the thing was, I missed with my sinister plot twice and bought a longer term buy on the basis that I'm going to get to a second scrying pool. But once I don't get down to the second scrying pool, then the better cards I get, I'll get cut out of circulation. So as I said, I could have made the margin smaller. But the way of the
What did you think of this poorhouse thing, by the way? That actually did seem to work pretty well.
Well, it worked pretty well, but to begin with, you were using it with the way of the otter, but the thing was you were ahead anyway, so I don't know how critical it was. But the point is you need 2 of them in order to get a province if you get rid of all your other coins. And of course, at that stage, but the thing was my hand kind of wasn't competing against you, so it was a race. It was more a solo game by about move 8 or 9, so it's not quite clear what would have happened if I was competing in
it seems to, I hadn't thought of it before, but it does seem to work quite well with scrying pool because you trash all your treasures.
Yeah, well, as long as you get rid of everything. Well, the key card was Sanctuary, which you got 2 of. I only have 1 of.
But then what it means is that then the scrying pool puts the whole, I was getting like 6 or 8 cards into my hand every time I played scrying pool because I had no treasures, so it never blocked, and I was getting action because that poorhouse is then an action.
Yeah, but you require the actions and the.
But it needed the mining villages to be there.
And in order to get to that stage, it was you altered them 3 times. I think it was early on in order to get to that point.
Yeah.
But once you still got the potion in play, etc., this is another double-dud card for poorhouse. So yeah, it works, but I think it was a close call. It was exaggerated by the outcome. I mean, when we look at poorhouse, perhaps on its own, it may do these things. But yeah. I mean, it's not a nasty card. It's just slightly. It's just the number of coins you normally want if you're getting rid of them all. It's a bit push-pull.
So what it needed for that to work, it needed to be able to get rid of the coins really quickly. It needed buys. It needed actions.
So
it needed quite a lot of stuff. But then once it had those things, it was very good.
Yeah, but the point is, if you got all of these things without it, it's still a pretty awesome hand, even without it. If you had a gold for each
the coins block the.
The point is, it's good value for money. The point is, though, if you replace them all with golds, how much worse would your hand have been? Not.
Well, I think it is. No, I do think it is.
With scrying pool, it works well. I'm not arguing.
It blocks the scrying pool.
But with the scrying pool, once you got rid of everything, the scrying pool is awesome, and the scrying pool also attacks me. I only got to 1 scrying pool was the point, so it wasn't really. If I was able to get rid of more of your action cards early on, such as your mining village, which is the key one. So what I did 2 questionable buys, 1 of a gold and 1 of a bank. But my potion didn't come into hand when I had the second buy, whereas yours did. And I was losing slightly if I copy you anyway, which I was thinking of doing. But I exaggerated the loss by making a decision to go for a different strategy. But I didn't get to the point of getting a mining village either, which is clearly basic of this one, which you need anyway. The timing just wasn't there. So what I'm saying, it was a little bit exaggerated for trying to make a judgment on that one. I don't think if we're playing poorhouse separately, we'll see it.
Because I don't normally like poorhouse at all, but I just thought actually with that scrying pool, it worked really, really well.
Well, it can work quite well in a lot of combinations. If you haven't got a lot of treasure and you have spare actions, then it's obviously a 4 coin thing, and it only costs 1. That's just the key point about it. I mean, if it was charging you 6, I don't think you would have been doing it this way. And when there's way of as well, you have options to do more of it as well. So value 1, and it's a +2 cards.
Yeah, and it's an action rather than a coin.
So it had a lot going for it in that particular one, and there's no question about it. However, it wasn't first buy thing. It's not like I should have bought it instead of the bank. You need the mining village, and you need the 2 scrying pools before it comes into its own. And I perhaps should have ignored money altogether and gone for that option, but I was still going to be a turn behind if I did that, because I was kind of banking on my sinister plot getting me a scrying pool and something at the same time useful, and it didn't quite fall out the way I was wanting. And I should have just stuck to the same plan as yours. But going back to Familiar, the second game again, it wasn't quite there. But what it does, it means the curse pile is definitely going to come into play. If someone else gets Familiar, you have to get Familiar. It's basically what it does. There's no choice.
So one of the games, there was this, what was the one before? I've forgotten the name of the card, but it was obviously not going to be a very good one. which gives you +1, but then you have to discard a card when the power runs out.
Yeah, poaching.
Poacher, yeah.
Yeah,
If there's a familiar in the deck, don't bother with the poachers.
I mean, the second game was razor thin between whether my knights got to kick in on time.
Oh gosh, yes, I was. Yeah, no, that's true. I think you're probably ahead really on those nights, and it's just a question. I have to raise.
Yeah, I mean, it turned closer than it was before the third night, but before Dame Molly Trash, which I kind of complained about a bit. I was comfortably in the lead because I can play all my actions without anything. I can build on some extra actions. Once that trashes, I'm now forced to race you on provinces, and the butcher's too powerful to card because I'm not going to hit your butcher a second time. Again, it's probably one of the ones highlighting, oh, your butcher trashed, if I get quiet about that. Because I didn't notice or if I noticed my patient had trashed. It would have probably been enough for a different outcome. But yeah, we're playing as if for proper information. So I lost all 3 today, but it wasn't really.
Well, you pretty much won.
The third game was clearly dominated out, and the other 2 were pretty close, I think. And the familiar was used in both those, but not essentially. And the third game, it's just the familiar. It's like any attack card. Once your deck gets fast enough and being attacked every turn, it doesn't matter what the attack is. If it's just slightly inconvenient, it's gonna exaggerate the win. So any attack card's good. So obviously it did its job a bit there, but that again, it wasn't critical. It wasn't. Oh, I got 2 potions.
Yeah, there's a scrying pool and all the actions and all that stuff. And the sanctuary is always nice. Yeah. All righty then. Let's let you back in.
Back in the viewers, I guess.
All right, I'm just going to do a quick look ahead to tomorrow, which is, it was this one. Oh, no, I'm opening the wrong spreadsheet. Let me open the right spreadsheet. Sorry.
Oh, Mountain Pass.
Mountain Pass, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Mountain Pass. Yeah, and so that one we're gonna. And if you've got a theory, you can explain your theories because you always have theories.
I don't have theories. I mean, I have theories for a lot of games. I haven't done all the maths of these, but for Mountain Pass, you compare the cost of things. What I'm basically saying though is because it only triggers after the first province. I think normally who's ever bought the first province, unless they bought it ridiculously early for some reason, already has an edge anyway. So it makes it a bit random in not the outcome, but in terms of what a card it is. So it adds some more VPs.
Who bids first? The one who bought the province or the other?
No, the other player, I think.
The other player bids first, and the one who bought the province can kind of choose higher or lower sort of thing. Yeah. And so that's kind of nice. I think it's nice to be the person who chooses higher or lower.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you buy the first province, unless you've gone rash and you're doing it at the right timing, you've probably got an advantage anyway. And this just kind of exaggerates it. The real question is, it's an evaluation thing. How much extra is a dud card worth to the bidding? Because you can work out a province costs 8 coins.
Yeah. It's how valuable it is to get the victory points, but not the card in hand. And that depends very much on the deck.
I mean, we can perhaps look at it, discuss the maths of that tomorrow. But yeah, I think it's the cost per VP is the one thing you look at. And then the other question is, how much advantage is it not to have this card slowing down your deck? So it kind of depends if it's a power deck or not, I suppose.
Yeah. Well. And then on Sunday is the Storyteller. And that one, I know that is considered quite a good card. I sometimes find it isn't that useful to me. So you you use your treasures to draw extra cards. So
it has to use the treasure.
You use your treasure up in a way. So you got to. I think you have to play very skillfully with that card to know exactly how many treasures to use and what to draw and all that stuff.
Well, it's still a bit random, but it's a reasonably good drawing card if there's nothing else to be drawn. But it's not the best drawing card. But yeah, I mean, you could potentially have something like Poor House and use that if you had enough actions in order to choose when to play it. So there is some extra things to think about. But if we're going back to early conversation, but yeah, another one to look out for. But it's not guaranteed to be the best drawing card out there. I think it's probably a mid-range card, even if it's high.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. So that's look ahead, and thanks everybody for watching.